At one point in her news conference, Lagarde described herself as a desperate optimist. But delivering the IMF's latest assessment of the UK economy, her tone was repeatedly downbeat about Britain post-Brexit.
So whatever the deal is will not be as good as it is at the moment.
And asked about the seemingly growing prospect of Britain crashing out without a Brexit deal.
Now, clearly, if that was to happen, our assessment is that it would have very dear economic consequences. It will be a shock to supply, and it would inevitably have a series of consequences in terms of reduced growth going forward, increased deficit, most likely, depreciation of the currency, and it would, you know, in reasonably short order, mean a reduction of the size of the UK economy.
The Brexit deadlines are approaching fast. For Britain to depart the European Union in an orderly manner next March, they really need to agree the EU divorce bill by the end of this year. And EU leaders are braced for an emergency summit mid-November. But the British Prime Minister, Theresa May, is facing considerable opposition to her compromise proposal, the so-called Chequers Plan. And if that is rejected by the UK Parliament, then the very real prospect of a no-deal Brexit looms. Boris Johnson resigned from the government over Brexit and has taken to sniping from his regular newspaper column. The whole thing is a constitutional abomination, he writes, and if Chequers were adopted, it would mean that for the first time since 1066, our leaders were deliberately acquiescing in foreign rule. The presidency of the EU is currently with Austria, and its leader is visiting Paris for talks with the French president.
I think there we agree that we have to do everything possible to avoid a hard Brexit and to make possible that there will be a strong cooperation between the UK and the European Union even after the UK leaving the EU.
The EU chief negotiator Michel Barnier is in Madrid with little to add.
I don't want to answer questions. No, oui. Avec un bon état d'esprit.
A spirit of good cooperation were the final words there. Mr Barnier will give a fuller assessment when he briefs ministers from the remaining 27 member states back in Brussels on Tuesday. Paul Brennan, Al Jazeera, London.